Hey guys, this is the Infinite One. I want to review about the very first UltraSabers that I've owned. But before that, let me give you guys a brief history of how I got into UltraSabers. So at the beginning of the year, I was trying to get into a new hobby that was not as expensive as my car and bike hobby. And so I came across wanting to collect, own, and build lightsabers. And I found out that this hobby is very popular. Lots and lots of saber companies, lots of sabersmith, lots of different parts that you can buy. So I was pretty overwhelmed when I first started Googling known saber companies. And I came across the other guys who had quite a bit of different saber designs. One that stood out to me was a katana-like saber. At this point, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. However, I was looking at common reviews and complaints from that other guy. And one of the complaints that's very common was that wait time was pretty much 6 months and longer. Furthermore, I have a buddy who has ordered 6 sabers from them, and 5 of the 6 have always come over 8 months later, and they're wrong. Now, you can send it in to get it fixed. However, it takes another 3 months to 6 months for them to return it back to you. I didn't like that, despite whether or not I like some of their designs. Now, I found more other guys, saber companies from Etsy, ones from overseas, and for the most part, their saber designs look good. It looks like they're solid quality, just like UltraSabers. However, a lot of them are either cannon-based or you have parts that are made dedicated to that saber, so you can't just mix emitters or pommels like UltraSabers and TCSS. I eventually Google search for a saber company that was a lot easier to mix parts with, and I came across TCSS with their MHS hilts and pommels and emitters. And so I started looking at their bodies. What stood out to me was that even though they only have about 5 main bodies, they have services like knurling the grips, powder coating the entire hilt from the pommel up to the emitter. Things like that, things I like, and there's different ways of adding sound, adding LEDs, even adding LED drivers that will give you different colors. So with that said, I started Googling how to assemble a saber together, and that's brought me back to UltraSabers. Well, the saber form actually. There's a lot of how-tos, lots of instructions how to customize the saber, how to put one together, how to remove various parts, how to install. And so once I got onto the saber forum, I found out that it was owned by UltraSabers, so I went onto their site, which was where I obsessed over this guy here, the Dark Initiate V4. I was looking at the builds. I wanted a stunt just to see the build quality, as well as their design. And I've seen in several posts that a lot of the members stated that if you're new to UltraSabers, a great way to find out about their quality and durability is to check out their grab bags or mystery boxes. So I went in turn and purchased a mystery box, and lo and behold, when it arrived, this is what I got: the Dark Initiate V4 that I wanted. The difference is this one came with Windows and an AV switch. So normally if I would have built it, I would spend at least $20 more. And one of the things I noticed is that with the smaller sabers like the Initiate and the Apprentice, they come standard with 24-inch blades versus its larger brother like the Aeon or the Dominix. They come standard with 36. You can go down to 32. So with this one, it came with a 24. So when I first powered it on, it's the Guardian Blue, which I like. It's a very nice shade of blue, almost purple in some pictures and some videos. The hilt is great. This is a stunt saber, so I've used it for spinning. When I first got it, I used it for dueling. My 5-year-old have used it to beat stuff, and I mean, he's even chucked it across the room at one point. And as you can see, no scratch, no dents. This is a great saber. I told myself, just like a lot of the noobs, that this would be my first saber. I would learn how to add electronics. I would customize it to my own liking. Well, that was a couple months ago. Now I'm on my 8th saber and working on at least 2 more. I love UltraSabers. Their customer service has always been great. But what really attracted me to them, other than the design and their sabers, is the community. The Saber Forum have the best bunch of guys and gals that I've ever met, that have become friends with and will continue to get to know. Lots of people who have lots of knowledge, that won't judge you, that aren't toxic like other forums that I belong to. And that with our common interests, sabers, it's just what leaned me towards UltraSabers. My wife makes fun of me that I'm a nerd, which is fine, I don't care. But every time I open up a box, whether it's mystery box or a saber that I've ordered, there's a huge grin on my face, because I know whatever I get, it will be great. Now, on to the review. So most of you who's owned this saber know that it's a very great weapon. Unlike its older brother, the Dominic's, there's really only virtually one choke point, which is right here at the emitter. There's a small slot right here that you can use as a choke point as well. I found out that for me, right here at the emitter is very comfortable, especially when I'm spinning or dueling. Now, the downside of having windows in your emitters is that when you first start spinning, this can kind of cut into your hand and kind of rub it raw. But over time, you will develop calluses, and so you kind of get used to it. That's the only downside to the window emitter. I actually like my sabers with the windowed emitter. I think it looks a lot better, especially since it lets some of the blade and the color bleed out. It just looks really, really good in person, in pictures, and on video, just like so. I mean, it looks great. I like it. The saber is solid. The only thing about the saber, I'm not going to call it a complaint, is that it being a stunt, the battery chassis is a lot narrower, a lot smaller than, say, the sound chassis. So there would be a rattle. However, to remedy that, I just wrap the battery chassis with Velcro, so it kind of fits snug. There's virtually no rattling. It keeps the battery in place. Nothing pops out. I don't hear any rattle, so it's good. It's pretty much the only thing about the stunt sabers, which is fine. I can live with it. I love the black AV switch. The all black hilt is great. When I first started looking at sabers, I gravitated towards the black hilts, the darker hilts. Not because I'm a Sith. It's just, I just like the look of the black sabers, especially it gives you more of a assassin feel to it. You can hide it more. It's hard to see this until it's ignited. However, thanks to the guys like Sci-Fi, who have quite a bit of different hilts, especially the silver ones. I've since then ordered a silver version of this, which I will review in another video. But overall, I love this saber. This is my first saber, so it will always have a special place in my heart. I will eventually add sound to this, more so of the premium sound card, obviously, because you can't buy the light sound. Well, maybe you can if you email UltraSabers, but I am going to eventually add sound to this. I will change the LED color to Sunrider's Destiny, which is my favorite color. But thanks to Nox, who's owned quite a bit of Aeons and Dominixes, and he has quite a bit of them at SRD, I'm going to add SRD into a black hilt. I think it looks great. So that's pretty much this saber in a nutshell. I may wrap it. I'm probably not going to weather this one. Change the pommel. I'm not sure on what yet. I like Sci-Fi's idea where he had the low profile manicore on his Aeon, so I may give that a try. But overall, I love the saber. Again, I use it for spinning. I've dropped it. It's been flinged on. It's struck quite a bit of things, and it still holds its own. No dents, no scratches that the human eye can see. Just a very good saber. My 5-year-old loves igniting this when he watches Star Wars, and he'll just beat on things, and you know, I don't have to worry about damaging it because of UltraSabers' design and quality. For anyone who wants to get into UltraSabers, this is a really good first lightsaber for you to own, especially in stunt form. You can't go wrong with the grab bags or the mystery box unless you just want to outright order one and build it to your own. I love it, and I will review its twin, which is the opposite. It's a Initiate LEV4 with light sound. So stay tuned for that. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys on the forum. Happy sabering.